Welcome to Owning a Business. The topic today is what your gut tells you depends on what it is fed. People often claim that they make decisions based on their gut instincts. And this may be all well and good when all the information needed to make the decision is available. However, when the information necessary to make a good decision is elsewhere, the gut decision will probably not be a wise decision. The gut knows only what it is fed. Add to this the situation in many businesses where there is a dearth of information available to decision makers because the policymakers, often the owners of the business, are not using groups in decision making. And those in the business do not offer candid information to the policymakers. Simply put, decisions made with limited information are more likely to be unwise decisions. Where experience is the knowledge necessary to make a decision, gut instincts provide a quick and often wise decision-making process. Where this process becomes the embedded decision-making process for the business, that is, where most decisions rely on gut instincts, the probability of making bad decisions increases, especially when those decisions require more information than personal experience. Where the embedded decision-making process of the business is group decision-making, the probability of making an unwise decision, especially with respect to more strategic decisions, is diminished. To create a group decision-making process, a small group of diversely informed individuals should aggregate their judgments and provide that wisdom to the decision makers charged with making the decision. This group should be formed to include elements of diversity, independence, and decentralization. In a corporation, generally, this group will involve the board of directors, sometimes supplemented by a board of advisors. But in a closely held business, a limited liability company or other owner-managed entity, the ownership and policy-making roles will not be with separate individuals, and the boundaries of ownership, management, and policy may not be defined. And in these situations, advisory boards with members outside the business may help keep the proper perspective in making a decision. What process can be envisioned for the policy group to make the best decisions possible? Effective functioning of the policy group can be built over time through the following practices. First, create a climate of trust and candor. The factors of diversity, independence, and decentralization should be valued. And eliminate polarizing factions. Share important information with all group members in time for all group members to read and digest the information. Second, foster a culture of open dissent. Do not isolate or demean mavericks or dissenters. View unique perspectives or dissenting views as opportunities to learn. Probe introverted or passive group members for their opinions. Ask for the basis of opinions and ask for justification of positions. Third, utilize a fluid portfolio of roles. Do not allow group members to be frozen in certain roles or to defend certain rigid typecast positions. Ask members to develop alternative scenarios and evaluate strategic decisions pushing them to challenge their own roles and assumptions. Fourth, ensure individual accountability. Give members tasks that require them to inform the rest of the group about strategic and operational issues the company may face. Involved with this is collecting external data, meeting with customers or clients, anonymously visiting plants, stores, or offices, and cultivating links to outside particles critical to the business. Fifth, evaluate the group's performance. For each member, examine the perception of the enterprise, the quality of the views and opinions presented, the credibility of reports, the interaction with other members, the confrontational skills, and the level of knowledge. Finally, a reporter, someone trustworthy but not a group member, can manage polling the group to encourage diverse, independent, and unique thoughts on the decision to be made, and then document this information in writing. Before any meeting occurs, a summary of the polling should be circulated to all group members. This summary need not attribute the thinking or make a conclusion about thoughts expressed. The members should be encouraged to discuss this summary with the other members and begin to formulate positions in accordance with their values and opinions, as well as the information derived from other members. From the summary and the discussions, a draft decision document can be created. After this document has been reviewed, the areas of disagreement among the group will be understood, and at this point, a direct group discussion may be helpful. As the proper forum for this discussion, you may use a meeting, or you may use a circulation of writing. A meeting will involve the members' confrontational skills and should result in constructive conflict and a sharing of judgments. After discussion, a draft document should be revised as appropriate to convey the areas of agreement and disagreement of group members. Bad decisions come from making decisions based on gut instinct and not considering all available information. The gut knows only what it is fed. Eliminate the bad decisions by embedding a group policy decision-making process in your business. Wise decisions enable the success of a business. My name is Rick Rebusel. I'm Principal Consultant of Business Transition Consulting. I appreciate your attention.